Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Offseason. I'm Benjamin Kelly. On this edition, left-handed pitcher Eric Stout may have been the last to find out that he was going to pitch in the Fall League, but he's pitching like he's known all along. He'll join us later on in the show. And later we'll talk about some of the 40-man roster updates and some of the transactions within the Royals organization. But first, let's get you caught up on all of the Arizona Fall League happenings. It's the final week of the Fall League season, and the surprise Saguaros are right in the thick of things. With a couple of games remaining through November the 15th, they own a game-and-a-half lead in the Arizona Fall League West Division standings. Now, the two games will take place on Wednesday and Thursday. They'll get a day off on Friday, and if they come out victorious and win out the rest of the year, then they have the best chance to play in the championship game this Saturday, and you can see that game on MLB Network. That's a 1:08 first pitch local time, so it'll be a 2:08 first pitch here Central Time. But now let's get you caught up on the Royals farmhands for surprise. On the pitching side of things, Josh Stout currently is tied for first in the Arizona Fall League with 30 strikeouts in 7 total games. And in his latest appearance, Stout on November the 14th struck out 7 and walked 4. He allowed 1 hit over 4 shutout innings to earn the win. Eric Stout is averaging a strikeout per inning with 13 whiffs and 13 frames. He's worked 2 innings in each of his last 3 outings and has recorded 8 strikeouts over his last 6 innings as well. Eric Stout will join us later on in the show. Evan Beal has been very impressive recently, posting a 1.74 ERA over his last 8 appearances with 10 strikeouts over 10 1/3. And on the offensive side of things, Ryan O'Hearn hit his first Arizona Fall League home run back on November the 12th. Right now, Ryan's hitting .308 in 21 games played for Surprise. Take a look at the graphic in front of you. As you see there, Ryan O'Hearn, 10 RBIs over 21 games played this season. Corey Toots batting .238 and 15. Mauricio Ramos, a taxi squad player, limited to just 2 games a week, hitting .226 for Surprise, and Alfredo Escalera in 19 games, hitting just .176. Coming up next, left-handed pitcher Eric Stout will join us via telephone from Surprise. Stay tuned for that with more on the offseason.
Make sure you get a head start on Season 10 of Naturals Baseball. Season tickets are available now, and you won't want to miss any of the fun this year. Remember, the sooner you get them, the better your seats will be. For more information, visit nwanaturals.com or give us a call at 479-927-4900. Now let's get back to the show.
Eric Stout was a 13th round pick out of Butler University in Indianapolis by Kansas City in 2014. He was a key member of the 2016 Northwest Arkansas Naturals, appearing in 42 games for Northwest Arkansas. And he now takes some time joining us from the warmth of Surprise, Arizona via telephone. Eric, first off, thanks for joining us. Glad to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks, BK.
Take us back to when the Royals first told you that you were going to be pitching in the Arizona Fall League.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a pretty big shock, honestly. All the players, except Jake Newberry, were in Arkansas when they got told they were going to the Fall League. So they called in all the position players, and they told Evan Beal and Josh Stout, and they never said anything to me. I think JJ and Scott were in town, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going. Like, I'll have a nice long off season, getting ready, just hitting the weights hard and stuff like that. And then I think with 2 weeks left, or maybe a week left in the regular season down in Arkansas, Vance called me in and told me I was going, and I was super pumped. I mean, obviously it's a huge honor to play in the Fall League, just with the best guys in minor league baseball, and I'm just thankful for the Royals to think highly enough for me to put me in this league, and it's been a blessing so far, and it's been a lot of fun, and we got a chance for a ring actually coming up here at the end of this week, so it's worked out great.
Now, Surprise is right in the thick of things, and you guys have a small league going into the last couple of games of the season. So what's the emphasis for this team on winning a championship?
I mean, everybody's focus is on just mainly getting better as an individual. Everybody was sent here with basically guidelines on what they need to work on. So everybody on our team is super awesome guys, like really high character guys, and our performance has, and our corrections that people have been making have been paying off. I mean, I think we're only 3 games above 500, but everybody is pretty even. Like the talent is pretty incredible around the league, and our offense really has put us up ahead of some of these other teams in our pitching as well. But I mean, the winning, as soon as like we thought we had a chance at getting a ring, we all kind of came together and really wanted to step it up and go for it. I mean, it's a pretty cool opportunity, even though it is the middle of November and some guys want to be home and some guys just want to be done throwing. I mean, we still have this really cool opportunity to win this thing and just get a ring for ourselves. Some guys haven't got a ring in the minor league season, so this would be a pretty cool opportunity to bring one home.
Now, you mentioned the guidelines. What were the guidelines for you that the Royals wanted you to work on?
The main word with me and Coach Luber down in Arkansas talked about with me a lot was the word consistency. Just the consistency with my pitches and repeating my delivery, stuff like that. So mainly focusing on my changeup and my slider consistency, throwing it more for strikes and repeating my delivery more. That was the big thing for me. And there's guys out here who've noticed a few things about me and everybody else, and we all kind of help each other out, which is pretty cool. We're a pretty tight-knit group, and everybody pulls for each other, and if something's off, like, we're going to call each other out just because we're all trying to get better. We all got the same goal, which is to get to the big leagues as quick as possible.
We're talking with Royals farmhand and Naturals left-handed pitcher Eric Stout. He went 6-4 last season for Northwest Arkansas with a .386 ERA. And Eric, there's one memory that I want to reminisce about, and it came on August the 2nd. It was the bottom of the 13th in a tie game against Arkansas, and a couple of circumstances happened where the Naturals had to go without the designated hitter and play a National League style of baseball. So you got a chance to take an at-bat. But tell us what the conversation was like with manager Vance Wilson before you went to the plate.
That was probably the funniest experience I've ever had in my entire life, and I've told this story about probably close to 100 times already. But so there was a lefty on the mound for, I think it was we were playing Little Rock. There was a lefty on the mound, and I hit lefty, and I hit in college. I was a two-way guy going into college, so I've had a few ABs since, I guess, high school that some people probably haven't. But I don't think Vance knew that I hit lefty, so he came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you swing lefty or righty?" And I said, "Lefty." And he goes, "All right, well, you're going to go in the batter's box. You're going to go in the right-handed batter's box, and you're going to stand in the furthest corner of the box, away from the plate." And he's like, "If you take that bat over your shoulder, I'm going to fine you." So I just started laughing. I didn't think he was serious. I gave him like a little nod, like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Righty batter's box, furthest corner, and don't swing."
So it was almost like Henry Rowan-Gardner.
Yeah, exactly. Ended up punching out on 3 straight fastballs.
Well, you ended up getting the win, so I guess it was all worth it. You got the win, as well as an 8-7 walk-off victory for the Naturals that night as well. All right, Eric, we're getting into our lightning round now. It'll be a few questions where pre-random questions. I'll ask you. You can talk for as little or as much as you like about them, but we'll begin. What was the first CD that you ever purchased?
Oh, I can't even remember that. It had to be like a Taylor Swift CD or something. I was big in Taylor Swift back in the day. Probably like Blank Space. I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift Blank Space.
I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
All right, second question. Do you wash your apples before you eat them?
Yes, I wash my apples before I eat them. That's gross if you don't.
So do you just run them under water, or how does that work?
Yeah, just run them under a little bit of cold water before you. I mean, you either cut it up or just bite it right out. Just bite right out of the apple, but you gotta wash it first.
All right, third question. What is the weirdest thing that you've ever eaten on a road trip?
Oh, back in college. This is going way back to college. Back in college, we used to go to Golden Corral for all of our meals, and that is the most disgusting place on the planet. I mean, one of our trainers found a little cockroach in her meal one time, and we all just walked out. We all had like ice cream for dinner and just walked out. It was terrible.
All right, the fourth question. What is your favorite place in the Texas League to visit?
Definitely Frisco, with the lazy river in right field, and there's no place can beat that.
Who was your favorite baseball player growing up?
Favorite baseball player. I like Ken Griffey. I was a left-handed hitter. His swing is just so pretty, and watching him, he was definitely my favorite player growing up.
So with you being from Chicago originally, the question needs to be asked. Giordano's or Lou Malnati's?
Oh, Giordano's all day.
If you had your human body, but the head of an animal, what animal would you pick?
Human body, head of an animal. I go lion. They got a nice-looking mane. They're pretty good-looking animals. You can scare people away. Definitely a lion. They're pretty intimidating.
Who is the greatest baseball player in Butler history?
Butler history. Well, I'm going to have to go with Pat Neshek. He's a reliever now. He's been in the big leagues for a pretty long time, and he's kind of somebody who my coach talked a lot about when I was going through the draft process, so Pat Neshek for sure. And
for our last question, if you had never played the game of baseball, what would you be doing with your life?
Well, I went to Butler to get my marketing degree, and even though I didn't play baseball, even though I played baseball, I liked it as a fan growing up. If it was going to end, it was going to end. But fortunately, I'm still playing. But if I wasn't playing baseball, I would like to just work in the marketing department of some baseball organization, I guess. I was big into marketing, big into like sales and advertising and stuff like that, and so that's what I went to school for. And I feel like I would pursue my career in that, in some type of baseball organization, work in either minor league or fortunate enough to be working with the major league team, but definitely something along with the business lines and marketing and sales, stuff like that.
All right, Eric, thanks for joining us and hanging out for a bit. We'll see you in spring training.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, BK.
Coming up next on the offseason, we'll take a look at some of the transactions from the past week for Kansas City, and Baseball America has released their top 10 prospects for the Royals. Find out who's number one when we come back.
Discounted mini packs for Season 10 of Naturals Baseball are on sale now. Want to catch all the fireworks at Arvest Ballpark? We have a mini pack for that. You like your Thirsty Thursdays? So do we. You can get a pack of tickets for that too. You get to guarantee your same grade seat for every game. You get 2 meet and greets with autographs and pictures and much more. So call us at 479-927-4900 to get it set up today.
Welcome back to the offseason, everyone. I'm Benjamin Kelly. Well, on the transaction side of things, the Royals announced earlier this week the re-signing of relief pitcher Clayton Mortensen. The former first-round pick of the St. Louis Cardinals has not pitched in the big leagues since he did with Boston in 2013, and he spent the last 3 years pitching in AAA Omaha, but what the right-hander brings is a little more depth to the Royals minor league system. Former Natural infielder and outfielder, for that matter, Orlando Calixte has signed with the San Francisco Giants earlier this week. Baseball America, who listed the transaction, said that he's listed as a shortstop, despite the fact that Calixte played primarily outfield over the past year. We wish Orlando the best. He spent 2013, 2014, and 2016 here in Northwest Arkansas. Baseball America has released their top 10 prospect list for the Kansas City Royals. Josh Stalmont, the right-handed pitcher who pitched in 11 games this season in Northwest Arkansas, is the top spot on the list. As you can see, there is the total list in front of you. Stalmont ranked 15th in the publication list last season, entering 2016, but obviously with a huge season between high and double A, he jumped to the top spot. You see left-handed pitcher Matt Strom there at 2, Dozier at 3, Skoglund at 4, A.J. Puckett coming in at number 5, second rounder for Kansas City last season out of Pepperdine, sits at the number 5 spot. A strong chance that the Natural fans could see him this year sometime in Northwest Arkansas. You look at Ryan O'Hearn there in the 8th spot. Jorge Bonifacio up 2 spots from last season's rankings to number 9. And there's Kyle Zimmer at the number 10 spot on Baseball America's top 10 list for Kansas City. They're still optimistic that he will pitch somewhere at some level in the Royals system this season. We're all optimistic. When he's on, he's one of the best in the game. One final note before we wrap things up on this edition of the offseason. The deadline for the 40-man roster is this Friday. Teams need to make those decisions and fill the gaps of their 40-man roster and avoid players that could be subjected to the Rule 5 draft. On December the 8th, the Royals have some moves that they need to make and some decisions that they need to make as well. For a full rundown of that, you can hear it on our podcast called The Naturals Offseason, which you can search in the iTunes store. Well, we'll take a week off to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday, but we want to thank our guest for this week, Eric Stout, for joining us from Surprise, and we'll be back with you with a fresh new show on November the 30th. For producer Beth Salazar, I'm Benjamin Kelly. Only 141 more days until opening day, so enjoy the rest of this one. Thanks for watching.